Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in this video, we are going to be working on making a connection between the way an author uses symbolism in their text as a way to develop the theme of their story. So, we're looking at our Lord of the Flies novel. We're working on our essay, which is specifically designed to make this connection. How does the symbolism in the book develop some of the important themes? So, of course, we know that theme is the overall message that a writer is trying to express in their text. So, we always think of it as not just the message, but the lesson. Sometimes people think of it as the moral. So, it's looking at the specific events that happen to the characters, the conflict, the way the conflict is resolved, the choices that the characters make, and then generalizing it to a lesson. So even if you are never specifically in the exact same situation as those characters, if you're ever in a situation that deals with the same kind of topic, then what's the lesson that you can learn, the life lesson? So for example, in The Chaser, right, I'm never going to be in love with somebody and so desperate to the point that I want to use a love potion. But because Alan was in that situation, and I saw through the conversation with the old man that that love potion really wasn't the correct choice. But Alan didn't see it because he was so desperate and blinded by his love. He made an irrational decision. I can learn that in life, when you are in love with somebody, you might become desperate and make desperate, irrational decisions. That's a more general lesson. You know, I could do that. It might not be the same decision as Alan, but maybe love will mess with my decision making ability. So we look at theme through the author's use of figurative language, the way they develop character and their actions, and the way they interact with the story events and with other characters, and again, with the conflict. So symbolism, we've been talking about in class, we also know is using objects to represent other things, ideas, or qualities, and that authors use symbolism to explore complex ideas like theme without directly stating their intentions. So it's really looking at what's being implied. So now in Lord of the Flies, we're looking at the way that the different symbols we've chosen are developed through the story. How do those symbols change? So first we're going to look at an example of the fire, right? So we've already done our planning map. We've gone through the book and we've traced our symbol from beginning to end. Now the fire we talked about in class represents hope and salvation. So as I look through the book, I would see that the fire in the beginning is meant to help them get rescued and return them to civilization. As long as they have the fire going, they are hopeful. However, as the story progresses, there are some disagreements over the fire. Why? Because savagery is starting to take over. The boys start to have other priorities, and those priorities and the allure of hunting really start to kind of take precedence over the fire. Ralph holds on to it. He keeps reminding them, we need the fire, we need the fire. The other boys are being tempted to the dark side. And as the fire is, or I should say, as they're tempted to other things, the fire starts to not be paid attention to. It starts to go out. We see that in chapter 4, the first time that it goes out. And less people start paying attention to the fire. So as that develops, we see the hope is dying, right? That's how the fire is changing. Hope dies. The reason it dies is because, again, they have other priorities. Now, towards the end, we see that the fire is no longer a symbol of hope. It becomes a symbol of destruction, of violence and savagery as they burn down the island and try to kill Ralph with it. Again, this all ties back to the fact that the boys are more focused on the darkness inside them. They've been changed. They've gotten away from civilization. So that's a different. They're far away from it towards the end. So now, how does this connect to theme? What is it that I can learn about these ideas, hope and salvation, through what happens to the fire in the book? So you really also, again, have to think about why. Why do these symbols, whether it's the fire, the conch, or whatever you're writing about, why do they change? What is it that takes over and becomes more important than the symbol? Or what is it that overshadows the symbol? Or what is it that causes the symbol to change? Basically, what have I learned also about hope? Sometimes in life, that's usually the way I kind of jumpstart my thinking about theme, the same way I jumpstart my thinking about thesis statements in an essay by thinking, in this essay, I'm going to prove, and then I finish the sentence, and the rest of that sentence is my thesis. It's the same thing with theme. Sometimes in life, what? What could happen, especially in this case with hope? Sometimes in life, hope will what? Hope is powerful? Obviously not, right? The hope died. So what's the lesson about hope? Sometimes in life, hope will die. Not good enough. When? Right? I want to try to be specific, but not too specific. Hope will die when you, how would we finish that? Focus. What are they doing? When you focus on other things, too vague, right? Focus on other things, like what? Focus on your boyfriend and your girlfriend? That's a other thing. So this is not quite right, but I'm on the way to getting the theme. So now I got to go back and really look at my evidence. Think specifically. Again, what is it that caused the fire to start to die and caused the hope to die on the island? All right, their priorities started to shift. What took over? Instead of getting rescued, what did they want to do? They wanted to have fun, right? Okay, what else did they want to do? They wanted to hunt. Why did they want to hunt? What was fun? What was the type of fun they were having? The type of fun was hunting. Why did they want to hunt? Just because it was fun? Well, it was also because what the whole novel it really comes back to, right? The darkness within you. So darkness and hope, those seem like ideas that are connected to each other, right? Hope is light. Darkness, there is no hope. Hope will die when you give in to the darkness. That's a little bit better, but sounds a little weak. But you can see what we're doing, right? We're getting towards a more general theme that the symbol and the way that it develops in the book is really kind of helping William Golding to teach us, right? This is the message. Same thing with Piggy's glasses, right? You think about what are the glasses representing? Glasses represent sight, the ability to see clearly. You're able to have vision, to think rationally, to see things rationally. But when the glasses are destroyed, the boys can't see rationally. At first, it's just one half of the glass that's destroyed. So half of the boys don't see rationally. And then Piggy, who's the only true rational character, because he is the owner of the glasses. And Piggy represents intelligence. But at the end of the book, the glasses are not destroyed, but they're stolen from Piggy. When they're stolen, even Piggy has trouble thinking rationally. How do I know that's true? Because even he thinks that it's a good idea to take the conch with him and go and confront Jack. Like that's going to help. I mean, he didn't really have a choice, but it really wasn't smart. That they actually thought it was going to work was kind of ridiculous. So, the glasses represent rational thinking. Once they're destroyed, they cannot think rationally. Why do the glasses start to get destroyed? Again, that's what it's going to tie back to with all the symbols. Why? Why do they change? What takes over? What becomes more powerful? When Piggy's glasses are destroyed, he no longer can see rationally because they're destroyed because Jack destroys them. Again, what is Jack's main focus? It's that savagery, right? It's that violence that's taking over. So the lesson has to be tied to that. So, how do I kind of put it all together? The glasses represents rational thinking. It changes from clear vision to irrational and poor vision. Irrationality, I should say, right? Represents rationality. And it changes from clear vision or from rationality to irrationality. Through this change, Golding conveys to us that rational thought can be overpowered by, well, what overpowered it? By fear and savagery. Now that's a lesson. Okay. So I want you to do the same thing for your symbol to figure out your theme. You're going to take an index card. You're going to use the sentence frames that are on the screen. However, you should feel free to adapt the sentence frames if needed. For example, if you're writing about the conch, you can't really say that the conch changes, but something related to the conch changes. So you might have to change this part, the it changes. Maybe the conch, or as the conch fades. It's not the conch that's changing, but the society. Their society changes. So again, think about how you might have to change the sentence frames a little bit. But what this is really going to do for you is this is going to really kind of solidify what your essay is going to be about. In fact, these sentences can end up being part of your intro paragraph, with this one right here being your thesis statement. So bring this to class tomorrow. I'm going to collect it and I'm going to go over it before we continue with our planning.